Hey, welcome. This is the week 3 review of the Watcher course. Remember, this is the last week that will be open on YouTube. The final 3 weeks, 4, 5, and 6, will only be available at our free community. So if you haven't joined yet, get over there. It's free and it has way more resources than YouTube. The link's in the description of this video, in the description for the channel, and in the first comment. Let's get to it. We're going to review all the topics from this week. So, understanding what a digital footprint is, what personal information online is, how data is collected on children, the risks of oversharing, and finally, understanding how to protect your children from all of these risks, both through privacy settings and conversations, right? Nothing beats a good conversation. So what we saw in understanding the digital footprint, we understood what the concept is, how every single action online that your child performs contributes to their digital footprint, how the digital footprint is practically impossible to erase, and why it matters, right? It has long-term implications. It opens up a series of risks. And all of the topics in this week are correlated, right? And so the ways data is collected, the risks related to privacy, related to actions, they are all kind of the same, but the context and the situations in which they occur are slightly different. Okay, so the concepts about personal information is not just name, location, and photos, right? It's anything that can connect information to a person. So we understood the definition, we understood how it's shared, often and only, why protecting it matters for children, but also for adults, and the basic steps to safeguard personal information. Then we understood how information is collected, right? So what data collection means, the difference between explicit and implicit data collection, the role of cookies, trackers, and other means of connecting information to people, and how these collected data can be used and misused regarding children, and much of it regarding adults as well. Then we understood the risks of oversharing, sharenting, right? The definition of oversharing, the common ways that children overshare, the ways parents overshare, and the consequences of oversharing. And in the final module, we understood what privacy settings we have to implement in order to protect our children and ourselves from all of these risks regarding the collection of private information, right? So we took a look of privacy options on kid-friendly platforms. You know now that you have to use the bigger platforms, right? So they all have kid-related protection settings and options, so that's why they should be preferred. And we also saw that only implementing settings and configurations and apps is not enough. You have to talk to your child, right? You have to explain to her that it's important that she protects her privacy and the family's privacy online. And then we talked a little bit about continuous learning, right? Periodic checks on settings, and every now and then sitting with your child and watching how she's using the devices and how she's using the platforms, the chats, who she's chatting with. As we saw previously, some of these apps don't allow you to monitor what's being talked, right? What's being said between people who use them. So talking is very important. Co-viewing and following up is very important. Reviewing regularly is very important. And remember that small children, especially under the ages of 14 or even 15, depending on their maturity, they have no privacy from their parents. They have no condition to have privacy for their parents. And if you grant them privacy, you are putting them at risk. And you should explain this to them because they are not wise enough and they haven't got the knowledge to identify possible hidden threats or disguised threats. So it's your job as a parent to protect them, regardless of them wanting you to or feeling embarrassed. Is much larger than that, right? And this is something that is not something that they like, of course, especially when they get older, but they understand. They understand the importance, right? And you can show them. There is plenty of news around about people, children who get cyberbullied, get repressed, get fraud done in their names, commit suicide because of it, right? So because we need to protect our children from those risks, they don't have the privilege of privacy from us. So that was it for this lesson and this review. If you have any questions about any of the content in the week, feel free to ask me in the community. I chat with everyone who joins the community. And I'll see you next week for the next lessons. And now exclusively in the community. Bye-bye.